3, it says the estimated answer to a multiplication problem is 800,000. Which of the following expressions could result in this answer? Explain how you know. So I'm going to be estimating all of these numbers that they have here for me to solve. That's the first thing I'm going to figure out. So I'm going to go through every single one, and there are 4 of them. So right here, I have 8,146. Is 8,146 closer to 8,000, or is it closer to 9,000? I notice that my neighbor is a 1, so that means that it stays the same. So it's closer to 8,000. Is 12 closer to 10, or is it closer to 20? 12 is closer to 10. Okay, so now I multiply 8 times 1 is equal to 8 and add my zeros at the end. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. That's my final answer. Now I'm going to try the next one. So this one is not going to work because that does not equal to 800,000. So it's not this one. Let's try the next one. Again, I have 81,467. Is 81,467 rounded to 80,000, or is it rounded to 81,000? In this case, it is rounded to 80,000. Is 121 rounded to 100, or is it rounded to 200? It is rounded to 100. 8 times 1 is equal to 8, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros at the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros at the end. Next thing I have is 8,146. Is 8,146 rounded to the nearest 8,000, or is it rounded to 9,000? It is rounded to 8,000. And 121, is it rounded to closer to 100, or is it closer to 200? It is closer to 100. So now I'm going to multiply. 8 times 1 is equal to 8. And I'm going to add my zeros at the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is equal to 800,000. So this one wasn't equal to 800,000. This one is. So I'm going to circle it. Now for this one, I have 81,477. I'm going to round it up or down. I have is it closer to 80,000, or is it closer to 82,000? In this case, 81,470 is closer to 80,000. Now I'm looking at 1,217. Is 1,217 closer to 1,000, or is it closer to 2,000? It is closer to 1,000. So I have 8 times 1, which is equal to 8. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 zeros at the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 zeros at the end. So this one is incorrect as well. The only one that is equal to 800,000 is the third one. So now I'm going to turn my page. We are on page 12. Make sure you are turning to the correct page number. Now, right here it asks you to fill in the blank with the missing estimate. So I'm going to be rounding. 751 times 34. 751, is that closer to 700, or is it closer to 800? In this case, it is closer to 800. How do I know that? I look at my neighbor, it is a 5 or more, I raise the score. So that means I add 1 to 7, and that would give me 800. Now 34, is 34 closer to 30, or is it closer to 40? 34 is closer to 30. Okay, and that's how we got 24,000. On this one over here, we have 627. Is 627 closer to 600, or is it closer to 700? It is closer to 600. Look at my neighbor. It is a 2. 4 or less, let it rest, so we leave it at 600. 674, is it closer to 700 or 600? I look at my neighbor. It is a 7. 7, 5 or more, raise the score. So in this case, I'm going to raise the score, which means I add 1, and that's going to give me 700. 600 times 700 does equal to 420,000. The next one I have 7,939. Is 7,939 closer to 8,000, or is it closer to 7,000? It is closer to 8,000. And the reason why I know this is because if I look at my neighbor, it is a 9. 5 or more, I raise the score. In this case, I am raising the score. Next problem I have is 541. Is 541 closer to 500 or is it closer to 400? I look at my neighbor right here and it is a 4. 4 or less, let it rest. So in this case, I leave it at 500. Okay? And I know that 8 times 5 is equal to 40. And then I'm going to add my zeros at the end, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 zeros at the end, and that is correct, 4 million. Now, question number 5. In a single season, the New York Yankees sell an average of 42,362 tickets for each of their 81 home games. About how many tickets do they sell for entire season of home games? They want you to estimate these two numbers right here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm estimating 42,362 times 81. 42,362 is rounded to 40,000 because 4 or less is to let it rest. And in this case, it is 40,000. 81 is closer to 80, so that's why I wrote 80. Now I'm going to multiply these two numbers together. 8 times 4 is equal to 32, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros at the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros at the end. Whoa. Sorry. There are 5 zeros, and then I put my comma in the wrong place. This is where it belongs. So we have 3,200,000 sold for an entire season of home games. For problem number 6, Raphael wants to buy a new car. He needs a down payment of $3,000. If he saves $340 each month, about how many months will it take him to save the down payment? So we have $340 times blank is equal to 3,000. So 340 times what? I'm going to round 340 to the whole number. 340 can round it to 300. 300 times 10 is going to give me 3,000. Okay? So that means it takes about 10 months in order for him to buy his down payment. For problem B, his new car payment will be $288 each month for 5 years. What is the total of these payments? So we know that it's going to be $288 for 5 years. How many months are in a year? 12. So 12 times 5 is going to give me the number that is equal to 5 years. So I'm rounding this. 288 is rounded to 300. 12 is rounded to 10. And 5 is rounded to 5. It can stay as 5. So it's going to be about $15,000. And I know that because I multiplied 3 times 5. 3 times 5 is equal to 15. And then I'm going to add my zeros. I have 3 zeros at the end. 1, 2, 3. And that's where I got 15,000. Okay? So about 15,000 is going to be the total of these payments. Excellent work. Let me know if you have any questions in class.